Hello and greetings. My name is Michael, and I'm going to take you through the fine art of installing Nessus, which is a vulnerability scanner. We're going to install it inside Kali Linux. So you will need to have Kali Linux installed for this. This is a picture of a scan done by Nessus. So it looks for vulnerabilities, and it gives you this great little report which shows you severe and maybe less severe, and then the blue ones are kind of, not so bad, okay? But these dark red ones, ooh, critical. Then we have high, medium, low, and some information. So today is the 28th of April, actually the 29th, of 2025. The reason why I mention the date is because the interface of software constantly changes, so even 6 months from now or a year from now, when you're watching this video, the procedure may have changed slightly, but we won't worry about that. So anyway, to get started, the first thing you need to do is have Kali Linux. So in my search here, I typed in Kali Linux download. And then, so if we go there to www.kali.org, get Kali. So get it from Kali Linux. Don't get it from anyone else. One of those things about keeping yourself safe on the internet is, of course, to have good antivirus and anti-malware. But also, when you're getting software, get it from someone you trust. If you're going to get Microsoft Server 2025, download it from Microsoft. Don't get it from someone else, okay? If you're going to get Instagram, get it from Instagram. If you're going to get any software, try to get it from the original source, okay? Because if you get it from another source, it could be packed with malware. Anyway, this one is not. Kali Linux actually has no malware, and Kali Linux is very misunderstood, but basically what it is has over 600 pretty cool tools for doing penetration testing and ethical hacking. And ethical hacking is all about trying to help find the vulnerabilities in a system so you can patch them up and not have the vulnerabilities, because most systems have vulnerabilities, and that's why cybersecurity exists, is because the whole idea of cybersecurity is to find vulnerabilities and to patch them up and prevent them. So Kali Linux has a lot of tools to help you find vulnerabilities, and you can carry out exploits and see how the bad guys carry out their exploits. Okay, so we go click here, and I'm not going to download it because I already have it downloaded, and it takes probably 15 minutes or whatever. But if you click there, I'm going to be having it on Oracle VirtualBox. So if we click on virtual machines, there are a number of different options. VMware is probably the most common type of virtual machine. Microsoft has Hyper-V. There's other systems. I'm using Oracle VirtualBox, so I would click there. Now it's starting the download, but I'm going to stop that because I actually have it downloaded. So what I'm going to do is close that, and if we go into my downloads folder, that is not my downloads folder. So let's go into my downloads folder. So there you see Kali Linux. So basically though, in order to get there, what you're going to need is this, but it's compressed. So what happens is, let me just, for the fun of it, let's go delete this one, right? So if I go here, this is a mistake a lot of people make. See how it says 7zip? That means it's compressed. So the wrong way is to double click on it, because you'll see people do that, and then they'll get a folder, and then they'll go install it. But if you double click on it, it does not uncompress it. So you have to right click on it, and you could go to extract all. I have WinRAR, so I would use WinRAR, but let me just show you the extract all. If you don't have WinRAR, this is built into Windows. So I go and click there, and it's going to put it in this folder here, and I click extract, and there it is, extracting it. So it could take a minute or two, but my machine's fairly quick, so I will keep talking while it's extracting. It is saying 23 minutes, but I kind of don't believe that. when you see these times, it's not actual time. Usually it's based on the operation it's doing. If it kept going at that speed, it would take 23 minutes. But I have a feeling if I keep talking, it'll be done in about 1 or 2 minutes. Then there's other times when it says 23 minutes and it could take 2 hours, okay? So go figure. But it seems to be going pretty quick. But I'll tell you what, I'll pause the video for a moment. Okay, so that is done. It took maybe about 5 minutes. So once it's, so there you are in your downloads folder, right? I can close that. So what it's done is it's put it in my downloads folder here. So I can double click there, and then there's another folder in there. You're going to have this, and you're going to have the little blue. So what you're going to do is double click on the blue one, and magically it's going to go put it there. I have a whole bunch of other virtual machines, a ton of them, but I've got a terabyte hard drive. But anyway, one of the first things I like to do is go check the network adapter. And if you go here in the settings and go into network, by default it has one adapter on NAT. Leave that one on adapter 1. This one is going to give you internet access. However, there's a problem. If you only have one adapter, you can connect to the internet, but you can't connect to anybody else on your network. So what we do is we go here to adapter 2, enable network adapter. It says not attached, but we say host only, and then we say OK. We do this before we turn it on. It has to be powered off. It can't be saved or it can't be running. It has to be powered off. Now, why did we give it that host-only network? Why not internal or bridged or one of the other options? Okay, here's the answer. If you go up to the top where it says Tools, you have, go here to Network. You'll see you have a host-only network, 192.168.56.1/24. So it's got a built-in internal DHCP server that's going to give you IP addresses starting at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I made 100 virtual machines, the next one would be 101, 102, 103. So what's cool about that is each of these virtual machines, like if you look at this Ubuntu machine here, I go into my settings there, go into my network, and what you're going to see is that this adapter here is on NAT and the other one's host only. So now I can communicate with those two machines. Plus my own machine, my host machine, is also in a network there. Anyway, I have Kali. So I am about to turn Kali on, but before I do, I'm going to be installing Nessus. So Nessus is going to make the Kali run slow. So I like to have Kali extra copies. You see I have a clone there. So what I'm going to do here is actually I'm going to clone it, and I'll keep this without Nessus, but I'm going to go right here and click on clone. When you clone, it can either be powered off or saved. It just can't be running. So you need to have lots of hard drive space, right? My machine has a terabyte. So I'm going to clone this, and I'm going to clone this, and I'm going to say with Nessus, and then I'm going to call this, I don't know, V2. Okay. How about demo? Okay, since this is a demo. So you don't have to worry about any of this. It's just going to be a full clone. And I go click finish. So we say the magic words, abracadabra, and it goes there, copying machine. So what a clone does is makes an exact duplicate. There is something also called having a snapshot. And so, like, for example, I was working with this Linux machine, and I was working with FileZilla setting up a website. So I can make a snapshot before I make changes, and then I can roll back. So let's just suppose I make a mistake. I can throw away those changes by rolling back. The clone is different. The clone is not a snapshot. What the clone is a full copy of that. So I've preserved my original one, but now I have this one. This is the one I'm going to install Nessus. So now, very simply, what I'm going to do is just go start that up. So it's got 2 network adapters. Now if I didn't put the adapter in now, I could do it later, but you're going to need it anyway. So Oracle VirtualBox starts up, and then I usually close up these little, they're just little notifications. So when you're working with Kali, the password is Kali, and the username is Kali. So hello Kali, pleased to meet you. So it has a nice little dragon logo for Kali. And I'll get rid of this notification. And then we want to log in. So my name is Kali, pleased to meet you, and Kali. And there we go. We're going to go log in. And so everybody, welcome to Kali. Kali, this is everyone. Everyone, this is Kali. Okay? So once you're here, one of the things I can do is I might be able to make that full screen by kind of bouncing this around like that. See that? So it did resize for me, one of those little tricks. So now this is what Kali looks like. So what we want to do is we're going to be putting in this Kali. So the Kali is a vulnerability scanner, and it's a proprietary software from a company called Tenable, and they have a lot of products. So we're going to be using one called Nessus Essentials, but they have a lot of tools if you want to spend money. We're going to have the free trial, okay? But basically it has there's examples of vulnerabilities and exposures that they can scan for unauthorized control, access, so unauthorized access, misconfigurations, open mail relays, missing patches, default passwords, like if your password is, you know, hello or 12345 or password or something, some silly passwords, right? So common passwords, blank passwords. You can do Hydra is great for doing a dictionary attack, which is a brute force attack. There's denial of service. Oh, the list goes on and on. Okay. So anyway, what we're going to go do here, though, is we need to do this. We are going to be installing and activating Nessus, and we are going to install Nessus into our Kali machine. So it's from tenable.com. So what we need to do is we're going to have to download from Tenable. So the first thing I'm going to do is go into my Kali machine here, and there's a little, like when you go into Kali, if you're new to it, there's a lot of tools here. See in this icon here on the left, whole bunch of tools, which I'm not going to go into. You can explore somehow on your own. But Nessus is not installed. So if we go here, we have, oops, let's go click on this. This is Firefox, right? So that's kind of cool. There's a browser built in. Now you do need to have internet connectivity, and that NAT adapter will give us that network connectivity. I can prove it to you. If I go here to the command prompt, and I'm going to go ping www.google.com, and that should be able to ping Google. And this is Linux, so it has a continuous ping. So we do Control-C breaks us out of that. Okay, so we don't need that command line. We're done. So the next thing we're going to go do, though, is we're going to get this www.tenable.com. So I'm just going to copy that because Kali Linux does let you do copy and paste. So I'm going to go copy and paste. So I go into the browser, paste my www.tenable.com, and away we go. Brings us to their website. So I can make that full screen, and then it says tracking preferences. I'm going to opt out, and then while you're here, then we have a whole bunch of stuff, more stuff, more stuff, more stuff. It's a great little product. Okay, so it's worth the money. They have been around for a long, long time. I actually have the book on Nessus from the guy who wrote it. I don't have my camera showing you, but his name was Renaud Deraison, and he wrote this a long, long time ago. I probably misspelled or mispronounced his name. I apologize, Renaud, but you have written a fabulous book. Anyway, so what you want to do is go into products. So once you click on products, you could click on view products, but if you just go down there, you see there's cloud exposure, vulnerability exposure, identity, more tools, Tenable, Nessus, more tools, more tools, more tools. But if we go down, there's Nessus Essentials. That is the one we want. So we need to go here, and you do have to register, but they're not going to send you a bunch of email. I've registered with them lots of times. I get no email from them, okay? So I'm just going to put in my name is Michael, and then, oh, actually, hold on a second. My name, let's say my name is Joe Computer, and my email would be Joe at, now inside Kali Linux, you don't use the @ sign, you have to go shift number 2. The keyboards are flipped around on that. So joe@computer.com. Pretty good email for somebody named Joe Computer. I'm just kidding. That's not my real name. My name's Michael, but I'm not going to give you my email address. I will pause this, though. I'm going to put in my real email address and then hit get started. So let me pause the video. Okay, so I've hit the get started, and it says thank you for registering your Nessus Essentials. So now I'm going to go do the download. Now in the meantime, if I go over to my email, they have sent me, so let's go here, download, and then when you go here, we're going to get Nessus version 10.8.4 Linux, Ubuntu, AMD 64. So just go click download. And there's this agreement. You have to read this, call your lawyer up real quick, and she will explain everything that this says. Mr. Tenable, I promise not to steal your software. I agree. Okay, so now we're downloading it into our Oracle, our Kali in VirtualBox. So it has downloaded it. It's a compressed file. So I need to go get my email, I need to check my email and get my code. So I go here to my email, and it gave me this activation code. So I just need to go and copy this code, right click on it, go back into my virtual machine. Now it has downloaded this, so I need to go to my downloads folder, but the trick is we don't go show all downloads or anything like that. If you look here, the first icon, like I showed you, was that menu. The second one is something else, but the third one is a folder, and if you hover your mouse, it says home, /home/Kali. So we click there, and what you want to do is go to downloads and see this open in terminal, the second option. You need that. So we go click there, and now if you type in ls, is short for list, and type in ls, and look, there's my Nessus 10.8.4.ubuntu blah blah blah. But like today, like I said, is April 29th 2025. If you're watching this a month from now, 2 months from now, whenever, this could be a different version. So basically, I have the number for that version. You're going to give this command sudo dpkg, dpackage, so that's going to uncompress it, then -- install, and then in quotes Nessus and this version. So if, say, a month from now they're version 10.8.5, this command won't work. I'd have to change that. Or if it's 10.9.12 or 11. Whatever, right? So it's going to change because they keep coming out with new versions, right? When we download it, we can see what version we have. So I'm going to go get that command. And basically, let's go back into Kali. And I'm just going to go paste it here. So paste clipboard, paste selection. So it's sudo dpkg space -- install space quote Nessus -10.8.4 dash Ubuntu 1604 underscore AMD64 dot deb close quote. Okay, so you might need to freeze the frame for that. But anyway, I'm going to hit enter. Bada boom, bada bing. Now it wants my password for Kali. What is my password? My password is Kali. Okay, so there we go. So it is unpacking it. So there we go. Looking good, looking good. So if I type in ls now, it's still there, but it basically has gone and installed this. So the next thing you need to do is you need to go, it actually should tell you that somewhere, but basically you need to go run this command here. Bin /bin system control space start space Nessus D dot service. So I'm going to copy that one, and oops, let's go to my virtual machine. I think it kind of tells you all this stuff once we download it, but let's go ahead and go into that folder. So that was here. Downloads, open in terminal. So I should be able to paste that. So start Nessus service. So it's asking for my password again. Kali. Authenticate. Looking good. Now we need to do one more thing. We have to put in this. Somewhere they're supposed to be telling you all this. http://localhost:8834. Now where is all this stuff? There's supposed to be a little message here telling you that. But where we're going to be putting that in, let's go back to here. I bet you it's telling you here. We can close that, go here, and I'm going to go put in this https://localhost:8834. That's a port, so it's mapping a port. So if we do that, bada boom, bada bing, right? It says potential security risk, but that's only because there's a certificate that's expired. We don't really care about that. Just click on advanced, and then you're going to get this, and then somebody could be blah, 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 blah. But don't worry about it, because you're inside your Kali Linux, and you're perfectly safe. So we go accept the risk and continue, and you're going to get this, welcome to Nessus. So what we want to do is click on continue, and this is the one you want, register for Nessus Essentials. We're going to click on continue, and then here it says get activation code, but we already did all that. So already have an activation code, skip this step, click skip. Now we pasted our activation code there, so let's see if I still have it in my memory. I don't, because I copied that. So let me go back out to my host computer, get my little code here from my email, go back into Kali, paste in my code, click continue, licensee information, there's my code, click continue. Now it's asking for a username, so I'm just going to go put in a username. I could just say Joe Computer, okay, but since my name is Michael, I will put in Michael, and I will put in my very top secret password here, and then I'm going to go click submit. So it wants to save it, that's fine. So now it's initializing and downloading plugins. Okay, so on some machines this could take a long time. It used to take a long time. I remember doing this, say, a few years ago. It was taking forever to download those plugins. But I think people were complaining to Tenable. They're going, hey, what's the deal? It's taking way too long. So they made it go a lot quicker. So it's been about a minute so far. We're not going to panic here. Now we are installing the Nessus Essentials, remember that. So when we're done here, I believe it's going to give me a message saying something like this: would you like to try our 30-day, or 7-day free trial? You don't need a free trial because you've got this. So it says, please wait while Nessus is initializing, right? Come on, Nessus. There we go. Establishing connection. Please wait. Looking good. Looking good. Looking good. Now you get this Nessus Essentials, calling for user feedback from EDU instructors, and I'm going to say no thanks. Now, hang on. So you get this Nessus Expert. So when this comes up, a lot of people think, oh my goodness, I have to start the free trial, or I have to do this. Nah, don't do any of that. Just click the X, right? Now it says plugins are compiling. Nessus functionality will be limited until compilation is complete. So this takes a little while to get everything in there. So I'm just going to pause the video for a second. Okay, so once it's done, it's going to look like this. So the folder is empty, so you can create a new scan or create a new scan. So basically, to create a scan, you would just go click there. Looks like it's still installing, it's still doing something. Like I said, it takes a while. So what you're going to want to do after you install the Nessus is go walk your dog, wash your dishes, make dinner, go to the grocery store, do your shopping, come back in an hour, maybe it'll be done. Okay, it takes a while. Anyway, thank you for joining us. We have been installing Nessus, and when you run your scan, though, there's different scans it can run, and then you can get, depending on the scans you run, you could get different results. So there's some basic scans, and then there's more advanced scans, and they have a number of scripts built in, and the scripts can make more advanced scans, but the problem is they can make your scans take a lot longer too. But keep in mind what this is all about. It's network auditing. What that means is it's going to go into your network and it's going to look for vulnerabilities. I got to finish this video by reminding everybody it's against the law to go into somebody else's network without their permission. For example, you have websites like Hack the Box. So if you go into Hack the Box, which is put out by Nmap, see that? You can go and put in Nmap, which is built into Kali Linux, and with Hack the Box, you can go ahead and set up an account with them, and they will let you go ahead and run scans. Now, I don't know if they're going to let you run Nessus, but you'll have to read through all that. But basically, what I'm saying is there are websites that will let you go ahead and do scans. But to go into somebody's network and scan their network is against the law. It's like, would you like somebody scanning your network? I don't think so. It's like going into somebody's house without their permission. Do you want somebody going in your house without permission? I don't think so. Okay? So, just the same way you don't want anybody to go into your network, don't go into anybody else's network. It is illegal. It's against the law. And don't do it. Okay? So basically these tools are for finding vulnerabilities. So you can use it on your own systems and find vulnerabilities. So put your systems in that host-only mode, and you can scan your own machines and run scans and find vulnerabilities. And it actually shows you, and you can go figure out, do research and figure out how to fix them. So the whole thing about cybersecurity is that there's vulnerabilities in every system, and the whole idea is to get rid of the vulnerabilities, and that's what penetration testing is all about. So this is a great tool for doing those scans, but remember, Do your cybersecurity ethically. Don't break into people's networks. Always have written permission. Goodbye.